Jaina has gone in and okay.
to off the music.
It works. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Mega Live IG Live. Can all of you hear me now? Okay. That's great. Okay, thank you all for bearing with us for that past 2 minutes. It was so chaotic, but I'm so glad that all of you are still here and bearing with us. So my name is Waylin, and I will be the host for today's IG Live, and I'm really excited to be here. We have some really amazing sharing coming up. So we're just gonna wait for a few more of you to stream in. If you know that your cellmates are free now from 5 to 6, you can just drop them a text, drop a chat. Text them in your cell chat and say that, hey, We Are Mega Life is having this IG live from 5 to 6, and you don't want to miss it. So come call your cellmates and grab them here. And we're gonna wait for more of you to stream in. And okay, thank you all for bearing with our technical difficulties. And I was just saying how there were very funny comments just now. Someone was saying, call me, call me. Okay, I got it. I'm so sorry, Brian, for rejecting your call. But I appreciate the effort, man. Okay. Okay, so before we start, I would like to first remind all of us of the entire heart of this IG Live series. All of you will know that we are starting on the book of Nehemiah as a church, and we are doing this study together. And so this IG Live series is part of a series to rebuild our personal and our family altars. And the whole point of this is to really give all of us these real life stories of our own mega lifers that God is teaching to live out the lessons from Nehemiah, both the rebuilding of personal altars and the rebuilding of family altars. So last week, if you were here on our IG live, kudos to you for being here today still. And last week, Daniel managed to host an interview of 4 very amazing young men who shared their own stories and their own sharing. And today we have even more power pack sharing. And okay, so many of you are streaming in now, and while we're waiting for the rest, okay, now that we're on a circuit breaker period, I'm going to start off this IG live with a poll. Okay, the question that I'm going to ask all of you is, can you live without social media? Yes or no? It would be great if you can just leave your comments and your answers in the comment section, and I would love to read it out. So I mean, for myself, I would never be able to live without social media, because it will be so crazy to have to deal without the catching up, without the platforms to update my friends and be updated on my friends' life. Um, yeah. So let me know if you can live without social media, because I can't. Uh, please reply in the comments so I don't talk to myself. And if you can just spam the hearts also. Offer me some support, please. Thank you, everybody. And while we're waiting for our rest, just once again, you can grab your cellmate, get your in your area chat, in your cell chat, get your friends, ask all of them to start joining us on IG Live for our share later. Yeah. Wow, Shane says that she cannot live without social media. I agree, man. I also cannot. Yeah. And okay, Josh Tang said that she can. He can because he's a boomer. No, Josh, don't call yourself a boomer. You're just 20 plus. You're nowhere near a boomer, man. Okay. Sing said that she cannot live without social media. And that's true. I also cannot. Okay, more of you are starting to stream in now. And all of you are spamming the hearts. Thank you so much for me support. That is great. That is great. You're helping me unleash some of myself also. And okay, Ned needs to agree with Josh that she's a boomer. Come on, Ned. You are not that old, okay? You're not a boomer yet. And wow, we are really glad that there are so many responses. And I'm really glad that all of you are here with us today. So now, uh okay, now that we are a few minutes into our live, we are really excited. And now I'm going to invite our special guest into our live stream. Okay, I don't know how about you, but I'm very excited. So, hey, can you spam the hearts again? Comment who you think our guest is, all of you should know if you watch the Mega Life story. And yeah, so now, okay, we're going to invite our special guest in. Okay, well, a warm welcome for Shane. Shane! Hello, Shane.
Hi. Hi, Eileen. Hi, everyone.
Nice. Okay, so Shane is from ML42, and today she'll be sharing with us about the role of a spiritual community, which is community. So Shane, can you share with us and introduce to us yourself first?
Everyone.
Hey
I'm from
everyone, I'm from
ML42.
ML42.
So my cell group,
We
we
are
are all
J2
J2
poly
year
poly
3
year
students
2
this year. So
students
yeah,
this year. So yeah,
we're
we're
18,
18,
very old.
Our
Our
cell
two
leaders
leaders are Derek Yam, and Vanessa Go.
and
And our AOs
our
are
AOs
Mel
are
and Daniel
Mel and Daniel
Xia.
Xia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
so
class been
our
together
class been together
for very long,
for very
and
long, and
yeah, a lot of us
a lot of us
have
have
known
known
each
each
other
other
since
since
primary
primary
school, which
school,
is
which
kind of cool.
yeah, yeah.
Is anyone from Shane's cell here? Other
Thanks.
okay. So now that we know a bit
We
about
know a bit
yourself,
about
we know a bit
yourself,
about
we know a bit about
ML42. Can
ML42.
we
Can we know?
can you share with us
Can
a
you
bit
share with
more
us a
about
bit
what
more about
yourself
what
has
yourself has
started to do?
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah, okay, so
basically,
basically,
during this
during this
home-based
home-based
period, we actually decided to do like this thing where we wake up at 7 a.m. every day to do quiet time together. Yeah, so this was actually introduced, like it was initiated by Derek, and yeah, every morning Derek will start the Zoom call. Then we will slowly go into the Zoom call, and then we'll all start to do our individual quiet times. Yeah, and afterwards we will gather for a short sharing by Derek, like some sort of closing, and yeah, then we'll end off the whole call with prayer before we all go to school. School. Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. Yeah, 7 a.m. QT.
Yeah,
I'm not awake at 7 a.m. Like, I've not been awake at 7 a.m. for a long time. And wow, that's very, very interesting. Can I just understand then, how did this initiative start? 7 a.m. QT. How did it start?
Okay, I think although we only started this initiative this year, I would say the heart of it goes back to way before. So like maybe last year in October. So basically, being one of the oldest cell, our cell actually identified a problem whereby we felt that our cellmates were too comfortable with each other, and also like we were getting a bit jaded in our walks with God to the point where we were not as serious and not as on fire for God anymore, and like our walks with God were kind of stagnating. So like Derek and ourselves felt like we had to do something about this. And we decided that this whole CV period was like the perfect time where we didn't want to uh, go idle. We also didn't want to be like wasting our time, like just watching Netflix and all that. Yeah, so Derek actually suggested this whole thing to also help us to start our days right, and also to teach us to be more intentional with each other, past just being superficial friends, but really like going deeper and being intentional with each other's spiritual walks. Yeah, and we also just wanted to basically build a more God-centered relationship in ourselves. Yeah.
Wow, that's very, very cool. And I'm so glad that all of you have this goal in mind and you are really, really working towards it with such practical steps. Can I just know then, how do you and your other cell members feel about having to wake up at 7 a.m. to do QT together?
So honestly, when Derek first suggested this, I was like thinking, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like flop. Cause like a lot of us we start school at around 7:40. I also have some cell members who start at 9. In fact, I've some of my cellmates who are in poly, they didn't even have school for a period of time when HBR started. So I think there were definitely days where it was super difficult to wake up, even for myself, because we would definitely rather sleep in or use the time to do work. Yeah, so there were days where we did have quite a number of people, but there are also days where attendance is quite low. Yeah, and I think it does make you feel like you kind of don't want to go for it. Like you rather just sleep in. Yeah, and sometimes I think even for those who actually went for the quiet time, maybe we were not as physically present because we were feeling like very tired during like in the morning. Yeah. Oh yeah. So as you can see, like in the comment section, right, like my cell member Caleb,
Mm.
yeah, so Caleb is actually a body student, and he's like complaining that it's too early. Yeah, because 7 a.m. is just like it's way too early. Yeah, I agree, but I guess it's something that we have to do to like start off on the right note, and yeah, also just to make sure that we don't just waste our holidays away sleeping. Yeah. But Derek says that 7 a.m. is scientifically proven to be the most spiritual hour because the Holy Spirit loves 7
Wow. Okay, so you mentioned, mm, okay, a lot of your cell members are reacting to this 7 a.m. Your cell leader Derek seems to be very happy with this 7 a.m. Plan, and he even says that the Holy Spirit loves 7 a.m. Okay, maybe. And you mentioned earlier that there are times you have low attendance.
Mm,
In this times where there are low attendance, what was it that motivated you to keep on attending 7 a.m. sessions?
mm. Um, I think it's definitely for me, like I wanted to contribute to the cell by being present because I feel like being absent is kind of like a tornado. There's some sort of tornado effect where when more and more cell members don't come, then the rest who actually do come will feel very discouraged and maybe they'll feel like, okay, maybe it's just better to sleep in. Yeah, so I hope that
Mm.
my commitment to this whole 7 a.m. quiet time thing would inspire the rest and will be seen by the rest and will also encourage them to commit to this self effort and like come more often. Yeah, so I guess that's what kept me going at 7 a.m. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's really, really great to hear. And I hope, and I'm very sure that this will have that positive impact on your cell, this collective effort of all of you. And with that, what would you say is one of the most encouraging thing about doing this thing together with your cell?
I think the most encouraging thing is that like after being a cell group for so long, this is actually one of the most so-called intentional things that we've done as a cell. I think maybe in the past we didn't have that much commitment or that much grit to be able to stick to such a plan. So I think like really seeing myself growing maturely, like spiritually, in their faith, I think it's very encouraging. Yeah, to see them grow in this way. And I think over the course of this whole 7 a.m. quiet time thing, I can see that my cell has been taking God and cell community like more seriously in the sense that we'll support one another. You know, when we hold these quiet time sessions, it's also a good platform for cell members to share about their weeks, to share about their days, their problems on a more uh like more commonly and like on a daily basis. Yeah, so we were able to like pray for each other throughout the week instead of just waiting for every Saturday to like meet up and share about our week. Yeah, so I think it's very encouraging to see people actually commit to this, people actually taking it
Mm.
seriously, and people really trying their best to grow closer to God and grow closer to each other on a more spiritual level. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, that's really, really nice to hear that all of you choose to come together and all of you recognize that um, church and your cell is not just a Saturday commitment, but it's a daily commitment, and you choose to come together and pray for one another throughout the entire week. Now, with that, we want to understand, okay, now we've been talking a lot about how yourself feels, how yourself has grown and all that. I want to know, Shane, how has your own relationship with God changed after these QT sessions with yourself?
Mm. I think for me, after going to JC, I've been very busy. So I think a lot of times when I do quiet time, it'll be like leftover time. So maybe at night, if I have
Mm.
some free time, then I will give it to God and then I'll go to sleep. Or there are sometimes when I go like days or weeks without doing quiet time because I'm just like too overwhelmed with JC work and studying for A levels and everything. So I think having these quiet time sessions has really taught me to be self disciplined and to be intentional with God and with myself. Yeah, because I think when you learn to cultivate a habit of waking up so early to do quiet time, after a while it becomes like a habit that's ingrained in me. And like I learned to be more disciplined in doing my quiet time. Yeah. So I think it has really taught me intentionality. Yeah. And also really um creating that habit, cultivating that habit of spending time with God, intentional time with God. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. That's really, really good to hear that you choose to spend intentional time now instead of leftover time. And I think that's one thing that all of us really struggles with also, to give God our 100% rather than our
Mm.
leftovers. Now, I also want to know then, how has your perspective on cell changed now that you all come together at 7 a.m. to do this?
Mm, I think in the past, like every week, I would just be looking forward to Saturday to see myself, which is not a bad thing. But I
Mm.
guess in a sense, that also gave me this idea that cell was like a Saturday event. Maybe it kind of cultivated in us this thought that, or more like cultivated in us this practice of being Saturday church goers. So I think this whole quiet time, meeting every day thing, it really taught me to become like the importance of being more intentional with my friends and my cellmates. Uh, taking the time and the effort to actually getting to know about their daily lives more often, checking up on them, and praying for them on a daily basis instead of just waiting for Saturday where they spill everything that happen in their week and then we pray for them like then and then we wait for another week. Yeah, so I think that has really taught me the importance of being intentional. Because I think like especially as you grow up, especially as your cell becomes older, things are not as convenient anymore. Not in the past where like you can
Mm.
just go 1 week without seeing your cell. When you meet up, y'all
Yeah.
will still be like all invested in your spiritual walks
Mm.
and stuff. Like now as you grow older, everyone gets busier. When you are not as intentional, I think it does show and it does affect your cell relationship. Yeah, so I think this quiet time has really taught me the importance of like being intentional. Yeah,
Mm.
and also like I think there was quite a few times that like, I had to call like a friend to wake up because she just couldn't wake up. So I think like things like that really teaches you that to be more thoughtful and to put in more thought and effort into your relationship with your cellmate. Yeah, and make sure that no one gets left behind. Yeah.
Wow, that's really great to hear that you are willing to, wake your friends up early in the morning to do QT together. How would you say that this has changed your relationship with each other in cell?
Mm. As I mentioned before, right? Like the thing about myself that's quite cute is that a lot of us were from like the same primary school. So we
Mm.
never had the issue of or we barely had the issue of not being close as a cell. In the sense that yeah, we've always been like chummy, we'll always go bowling together, we'll always go eat ban mian together, that kind of thing. But I guess like that in itself became a weakness because it made us too comfortable with each other. Like we treat each other like bros, like sisters and bros. So I guess before that it was that kind of very superficial relationship in the sense that we were good friends. We know about each other's problems, but we were not as invested in each other's spiritual walks. So I think
Mm.
how this whole quiet time has changed our relationship. Um, it's definitely made us forced us to be more intentional with each other's spiritual walks. Like getting to know more about like how our faith is, where we stand in our beliefs, and also how our walks with God have been. Yeah, and also when we
Mm.
hear each other's problems, we don't just give worldly advice, but we also like pray for them and we get to know and give them godly encouragement. Yeah, and I think another thing is that yes, like as I mentioned before, it has taught us to be more intentional with especially with those who don't really come. Because I think when
Mm.
you do this kind of daily things, it highlights those who are a bit more absent, those who are a bit more MIA. So it really does make it makes the urge to kind of invite these people back, to involve them more, even more prominent. Yeah, and I think like
Mm.
overall, it just feels like now we're genuinely like doing our walks with God together, not just separately and then coming together on Saturday. And we're really like
Mm.
getting to know about each other's thoughts and each other's faith like on a deeper level. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Your intentionality is something that I really picked up throughout the past maybe like 15, 20 minutes of your sharing. And that's something I really admire also. Um, can you share with us then one example of how your cell is supporting one another more because of these QT sessions?
I think in the past, like we do know about each other's struggles, but very briefly because on Saturdays we meet up. Then there would be like, okay, let's share about our week. Then
Mm.
that's when people will just feel like, oh, like on this certain day this happened, or something happened in my family that day, something happened in school that day. But by then, it has passed. The most you can do is to just pray. Yeah, but I think now that it happens daily, more and more cell members are opening up and on a deeper
Mm.
level because we have more time in the morning to share. So for example, maybe if something happened just yesterday night, they don't have to wait until Saturday to share it. The next morning when we meet up at the end of the session, when Derek asks for sharing, they can just straight away voice it out, and we can immediately give them, encouragement, verses, and also pray for them on the spot. So like maybe for example, some of my cell members, like they would share certain issues that like maybe uh like some emotional issues that they've been facing in the week, or some family issues that they've been facing in the week, and we can
Mm.
immediately just pray for them and also check
Mm.
up on them on a more regular basis every single day. Yeah, so I think like that has definitely helped us to support each other more. Yeah.
Wow. That's really, really heartening to hear also. And up to now, we've been hearing all these very, very encouraging and very heartening things. Um, what if there was one thing, however, that your cell can do differently, what would it be?
I think as of now, we're still relying very heavily on Derek because this whole card time, especially at 7 a.m. thing, it's quite new to
Mm.
us, quite heavy for us. So for now, it's always been Derek, starting the Zoom call at 7, then Derek hosting the session, Derek closing it off and everything. I think something that we can do differently, which we did discuss just recent Saturday, was that instead of having Derek host everything, we can take turns for cell members to host the sessions instead. So they'll be the ones to do the wrap up at the end. They'll be the ones to close the session in prayer. Yeah, and
Mm.
then I think another thing that we can do to involve everyone is to have cell members actually send their personal summaries of the day's quiet time in the cell chat, especially for those who didn't have the chance to attend it. Yeah, so I think that those are two things that we can do differently.
Wow, that's really, really good. I'm sure that all of you will really, really take time to start doing these things also. Now, with all of this that you just shared, right? Okay, what would you want to share with other cells from this experience?
I think a lot like for me when our cell was younger, um, I didn't I never thought that it would become a problem where people get too busy and our walks with God kind of become jaded and stagnated. Like at that point of time, there was definitely points of time in my cell group where we were super on fire for God, and we didn't have to be so like we didn't have to force ourselves to set aside this time in order to help each other. But I think as you grow older, you kind of realize like it's really not easy. Like I remember in our Sec 4 South Chalet, Derek like warned us very sternly that when you go to JC and Poly, like things are gonna change, and it's gonna be very hard if we don't be intentional with each other. Which I think is really hitting hard now because many of us are taking our A levels this year, and then many of them are also in Poly year 2, which is also a very important year and very busy year for all of them. So I think something that I want to share with the cells, especially the younger cells, is that as you get older, you cannot take for granted what your cell has. You can't just
Yeah.
expect that everything will continue to be the same, that you all will always have time to hang out and go bowling and eat bamian, or even to just text and check up on each other. Yeah, I think if you really want to maintain that close relationship with yourself and with God in the center of it all, you really have to be intentional. Like I've been nagging, I've been repeating this word for so many times, but it's really
Mm.
the key thing. Being intentional and taking time and effort to meet up with your cellmates, check out on them throughout the week, and not only on a superficial level, but really checking up on their walks with God, on their faith
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think another thing would also be that I would definitely recommend both young and old cells to do it. I think especially for cells who are around my age, you all will definitely understand the struggle. But I think there always has to be some sort of starting point, and it'll definitely be rocky at the start. Like sometimes we have like two people, there's even one time where it's just me and Derek because everyone else overslept. I think like don't be discouraged, keep going, and
Mm.
even if you feel discouraged by people not coming, don't be the one to give up because the moment you give up, like it does create an effect on your cell members.
Yeah.
But if you keep going, it will also inspire people to take their walks with God more seriously. Yeah, so I
Mm.
guess that's all I have to share with other cells.
Wow, that was really, really good. And I think whatever you mentioned really, really comes to speak of the intentionality that you have and that desire to want to grow this cell closer together to be really that God-centered community. And I'm sure that by the time this circuit breaker ends, or even as we I don't know, like graduate to high life and young adults, I'm sure that this will be a culture that yourself will continue to cultivate and to grow. So with that, actually, we have finished our panel questions, and now we'll be transiting into our live Q&A. So if any of you have any questions for Shane, you can share them and ask them in your comment section right now. And we'll try our best to answer them. And wow, while waiting for that, I just want to say again, like whatever Shane has shared today is really very heartening, and I'm sure she will really, really encourage all of us to really start this new culture and cultivate this new culture of doing QT together as a cell. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, and okay, I was reading also the comments as you were sharing, Shane, and I'm just saying that I just want to say that like so many of you, so many of them have shared. Okay, Derek asked the first question, and it's, wow, Shane, where did you cut your hair?
Okay, fun fact. A lot of people thought I cut my bangs by myself, but oh my gosh, all my friends are asking. Okay, so like basically, I saw this coming. I saw the salons. I knew the salons were gonna close, so I was like, you know what? It's now or never. Like YOLO, right? So I just I went to the salon and cut my bangs off. Yeah, that's what happened. Yes. Oh, my family members are so supportive. Yeah, Alexandra says she loves my hair. Thank you. But Derek, on the other
Yes,
hand, says
yes,
that he hates
yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You need the affirmation of men. Okay. If there are no questions, I think maybe uh we can just go on to our closing. And okay, we just want to close this entire IG live of after hearing Shane sharing and all. After hearing the sharing, we want to ask you, what is God leading me to rebuild in my life? So the question that we really, really want to ask again is, what is God leading me to rebuild in my life? Shane today has shared that there are things that herself has come together to do to help them build up their personal altars. Last week, we had groups of friends and Dylan who shares about how they have come to build their own personal altars. And the question I want to ask you today is, what is God leading me to rebuild in my life? What is God calling you to rebuild in your own life today? And I think this circuit breaker period is such a good time to do it, especially since we're all at home in HBL. I know the May holidays have started and they're starting tomorrow. Let's really take this time to see what God is calling us to rebuild, and take this time to rebuild it before we come back out better than ever, you know? Yeah, and with that, I want to just close with a few announcements. Okay, there are many, many, many IG lives that are happening in this circuit breaker period. Okay, every Tuesday there's a live worship set. Okay, that you can tune in from 8 to 9 p.m. at We Are Mega Live. The next IG live that's like this, where there will be an interview going on. It will be on Thursday, 7th May at 5 p.m. Same time, 5 to 6 p.m. on We Are Mega Life as well. We also have like amazing giveaways. I don't know, whoever saw whoever saw Mega Life service last week, you will see that there are $30 worth of Grab vouchers to be given out. So that's really crazy. It's so good. You can buy your whole family a meal. Okay. We have giveaways as part of this campaign. So stay tuned to the further live streams, to the rest of sermon, to see how you can win these giveaways. Okay. And yeah, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Shane, for sharing your
Thank
amazing,
you.
amazing story about yourself. And we hope that it encourages the rest of the Mega Lifers to do the same. Yeah. And that's all. See you next Thursday at 5 p.m. Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.